Recruit for attitude, train for skill. We've all heard the old adage and we know it's true. Strange though that so few people do it. My experience is people talk about it. They sort of say they're doing it, but when I look at how they recruit people, it's hard to see how they're ensuring that they get people in with the right attitude and the right fit. Now let's think about why. Let's then go into, I've just got half a dozen ideas, half a dozen tips on ways you might do it, ways that I've seen work really well to ensure you get the people with the right attitude into your business. And let's be honest, we've all experienced when you get someone with a great attitude, great fit in the team, if their skills are only 70 or 80%, they'll fill that gap. They'll learn because they're motivated, they want to be there, they want to do it. They'll pick up the pieces. Flip side, someone with really good skills but terrible attitude. You're never turning around the attitude in my experience. You're never changing that bad fit in the team. So let's make sure we get people first and foremost with the right attitude. And that, what's this crazy dog doing? Every time I do one of these videos, he starts running around like a mad thing. He's quite sensible. He has energy, has a sort of a good attitude, I suppose. Anyway, sorry about him. So first point is actually take it seriously. It sounds obvious, but that means when you look at your recruitment process, actually ask yourself, where in this process are we genuinely getting a good read, a good assessment of them, the candidate, having the right attitude and the right fit with the team? Because by the way, I think it's both things. I think having the right attitude often makes them a good fit with the team, but make sure you're asking both questions. In my experience, and by the way, in the process we use for recruiting people, about the first 2/3 or so of the process are purely focused on attitude. During that phase of the process, we, for example, don't look at a CV. I'm not interested in the skills yet. I'll test the skills in the shortlist, but to begin with, I want to make sure attitude fit with the team, fit with the culture. So take it seriously. It should be a big part of your process. Second point, involve the team. If part of the story here is fit with the team, fit with your culture, the team are as well positioned to gauge this as you are. I like multiple of the team, depending on the size of the business, small team, whole team, but multiple of the team being involved in actually assessing, interviewing, being there when candidates are coming in and you're assessing the candidates. So get your team involved. Our rule of thumb has been if one member of our team has an issue with a candidate, an issue with their attitude or their fit with the team, that pretty much rules them out. We're pretty black and white on that. It's a strong view, it's an extreme view, but this is worth getting right. So that's been our approach. So involve the team, take it seriously. How can you assess for it though? Okay, the simple one, when you're questioning, when you're interviewing, if you ask open enough questions, you'll get a good read on it. You know, you ask someone a question like, what is it that you've really enjoyed about somewhere you've worked? What have you really been frustrated by? What's important to you? It's not directly to fit, it's not directly to culture, but when people answer those questions and you dig a couple of times, tell me more about that. What else? Go into that in more detail for me, please. You start to get a sense actually of what's really important to them, which by the way is usually pretty representative of what sort of attitude they've got and what sort of culture they fit well in. When someone starts talking about, I love it. My favorite thing in the last work was having fun with the team. Favorite thing in the last work was coming up with new ideas. I loved it some of those weekends when we just worked really hard and put in the extra bit to win that job. Right, you're getting a sense of what sort of person they are, what they enjoy, what sort of culture they'll fit in. Might be your culture, might not be, but you're getting a sense of it. Being a group environment, I find very good, not just a group with others of your team and staff, but I like getting a few of the candidates in together because then you just get to see them operating with other people. To a point, you get to see them confronting unexpected situations, maybe challenging situations, which typically reveals a bit more of their real self, their real attitude, how they confront those unexpected things, those challenges, which is a good read on what they're going to be like in most businesses, by the way, have unexpected situations and challenges, and how people deal with those is a good read on what their attitude is. So those are good things to do. The last one, the last step I like to take, especially for a more senior candidate, but almost anyone, if we're in the last candidate, we've assessed them, we're pretty keen to offer them the job. I like to invite them out to the pub for dinner. Quite often, certainly for a senior role, it's invite them and their partner, if they have a partner, to come and have dinner with me and my wife. but it's always at the pub. And we emphasize, it's jeans and a t-shirt, it's a pub. It's not fancy dinner. And if they like to, if you want to have a glass of wine and a beer with them, great. Just talk about life. Talk about what they want to do. Talk about, explore anything, their kids, their holidays, their background, how they grew up, what they have as passions and hobbies. It's amazing what comes out. And sometimes they find ways of talking themselves out of the job, which is a shame, but you'd rather find out then. Again, in that environment, you often find out what someone is really like. Now, there is no finite list of what you can do here, but in my experience, take it seriously, this question of attitude and cultural fit. Involve the team. Ensure that part of your process, a big part of your process, actually is targeting this, is trying to evaluate it. And have some fun with it, because what you're talking about is what these people are really like. So enjoy it. Get people with a great attitude, with a great fit in your team, and it's amazing what they'll do. All the best.